People have to become someone they've never been before. As I said before, I wasn't born 107 kilo Special Forces colonel. Like everybody else, I came into this world naked and screaming. But we have to grow. Don't say that to my wife about I can't do it because I'm afraid, because let me give you an insight. You'll meet her next week. She didn't come today because unfortunately she has MS, multiple sclerosis, which is a brutal disease. She was diagnosed a month after we were married. It was so bad at one point that she dropped boiling water on her feet, couldn't feel it, couldn't walk 50 metres without needing a rest. Went to see a specialist, and he said to her, you'll be in a wheelchair in 18 months, dead in 3 years. That was back in 2009. And she's tough. She said no, and we found alternative solutions to the problem. And she went from not being able to walk 50 metres to walking 3.5 k's down a sandy beach. And I just took over the cooking and Whole Foods, and just on diet alone, we saved her life to that point. But unfortunately, the last 8-9 months, I don't think she's had a good night's sleep in a couple of years. The last 8-9 months, her health has been deteriorating badly. And so she couldn't make it today. We promised our viewers that she'd be here today, but I'm sorry she couldn't make it. She'll be here next week. But in answer to your question, when I have a family, I must. I understand that. But my wife, with her MS, and she's completely unreliable in terms of her brain is still there, but she just collapses and she just can't work. So she works as she can. But she's a chief of staff, interim chief of staff. She just helps me out. She also, we homeschool our 2 kids.
Wow.
2 of our kids who are still at school. We got one at university.
Yeah.
He's good. But our two younger ones who are still school age, we homeschool as well. So there she is. She's got MS. She's the interim chief of staff, helps where she can. And we homeschool kids. So I understand tough. I get it. You've got to look after your family. I understand that. But I can promise you, they will come for your kids. Let's get personal. You want motivation? Look at your kids. Because right now in New South Wales, right now in Victoria, they can take your kids and call John, Jane, and send them off for hormone treatment, and you get no say. Because the principal is allowed to make a determination whether that child is a mature minor who can make up their own mind. You want motivation? You imagine a phone call with the principal saying, oh, and the principal doesn't have to tell you, they'll just do this.
That's right. That's right.
Check it out. New South Wales, Victoria, they can take your kids. So all of a sudden, if the family's good, everything's good. But they attack your family, you'll get your attention will be focused really quickly. So I understand a lot of people have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of obligations. Yep. But if you're a parent, your first obligation is to your child. That's pretty straightforward. And if it's not, you better check your priorities, because they're coming for your kids. Yep. And they will take them. And people don't believe me. So don't believe me. Go onto the Victorian Department of Education website. Same in New South Wales. And you'll see that they can take your kids. And just one little thumb in the eye. Guess who the Secretary of the Department of Education is? I mentioned it once before. Mark Scott, former Managing Director of the ABC. So what they do is they get reliable people and put them in places they need to control best. Yeah. So if the New South Wales Education Minister thinks he runs education in New South Wales, you've got another thing coming. And if you go to a Catholic school or a private school, well, guess what? The Bishop of Parramatta, there's a petition by the local Catholics to get him removed. Because there's an old joke, is the Pope a Catholic? Well, he's not anymore, and neither is the Bishop of Parramatta, because he's introducing and he's tolerating weird gender ideologies which are anathema to the Catholic faith. And I don't care if you're a Catholic or not, that's not the point. They are penetrating every aspect of your life, and they are stealing your kids a day at a time. And unless you get off your collective backsides and realise that they are stealing your life, your freedom, and your future, you're lost. You will not survive.
Yeah.
Evolution is brutal.
That's right.
Folks, you got to do it. And I understand it. Not everybody is built for the fight. But as I said to this 73-year-old yesterday, look, love, you've had a great life. We don't expect you to fight, but if you can make the Lamingtons, that's good. She said, I can do that. I'll be there with tea and bickies. And I said, fantastic, because we need everybody to put in the way as best they can. And that's it. You just got to fight. If we don't fight, we will lose the country.
Exactly. It's not a movie. I mean, this is not the good guys win every time. I think 2020 is very Game of Thrones-esque. Things have gone wrong. They will continue to go wrong. And that will happen because good people do nothing, basically. It goes back to that old saying from Edmund Burke, I think. All that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. And that's the reality. Good men and women, to be honest.
Oh, that's it for tonight. I think if the viewers can Google The Great Reset immediately, watch that, and understand how all of this is being done. And it's due to be launched in January 2021, so you haven't got much time, kids. January next year, The Great Reset. This is their last throw of the dice. They know that they have to do this. And that's why they're attacking Trump so vigorously.
Yeah.
Because I said it before, I'll say it again, this is how simple it is. If Trump goes down, the US goes down. If the US goes down economically, it goes down militarily. If it goes down militarily, the globe is lost. The left, the globalists, all of them, they don't want to save America. They don't even want to control America. They want to destroy America. You've got to understand the enemy before you can fight them. That's why they're destroying Trump. And if people don't like Trump, I don't much care. He's been married 3 times. So what? So have I. Next question, moving right along. You want rounded vowels? You've had 40, 50 years of rounded vowels and polite people.
Exactly.
And guess what? Australia will not be saved by private clubs. It's going to be saved by Jacko Norrell in a ute with an oversized Australian flag saying, get stuffed. This is my country. And if people don't like it, well, I'm terribly sorry. But everyone gets a vote.
That's right.